welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what we're going to be doing with my preschooler for the upcoming school year of 2025 to 2026. So if you enjoy this type of content and other homeschool and lifestyle content, please remember to subscribe and let's get into it. So when you are seeing this video, I already have several curriculum videos that had come out. So I have one for an 8th grader, 7th grader, 5th grader, and 3rd grader. And then I thought I'd share just some different ideas for my preschooler. He's gonna be like 3.5 in the fall. And a lot of times I do put my kids into preschool. We homeschool and everything. We've homeschooled for a very long time, but I do put them in preschool for at least 1 year. All of my older kids did 2 years. 2 years, good thing I can count. That's why we put them in preschool. They did 2 years, except my fourth. So my fourth child didn't because of COVID. That would have been like her first year of preschool when she was 3. So she did preschool the next year and she just did 1 year. Part of that was some of my older kids, we weren't homeschooling yet. And so that's why they were going to preschool. And then after that, it was more for my sanity to be able to help me. And as I worked with my other kids, and even now as I try to do stuff with my big kids, it gets very, very loud with my 2 littles all around because they're 3 and almost 2. And it's just a lot of noise and craziness. And so it becomes hard to just do what I need to do with my big kids because of the little kids. And so sometimes it's nice to just have them go to preschool and we can do the stuff that we need to do, like the group work stuff, while they're at preschool. So I would have done that this fall, or at least tried to. We were trying to set something up, but didn't know our schedule. And now that we're going to Africa, obviously he's not gonna do preschool, but we'll come back and he'll be able to do preschool next year in the fall. So that's kind of what I normally do with preschool. So I have activities that they can work on and do while we're doing our group work, and even while my other kids are doing their independent subjects and stuff, but I don't necessarily do a strict preschool curriculum. I just kind of go with what they want to learn, and then there's a lot of things they're also learning in like their preschool classes and stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you some things that he can do at home while we're still at home. And then I got several things. It's a mini haul video too. I got several things off of Amazon that we can take either for him to do like on the airplane and then still do once we're in Africa, or that we can just pack in our suitcases and take with us. So I'm gonna go through kind of both of those things and give you a few different options of maybe what might be just like simple preschool, like intro to letters, colors, and just a lot of games and sensory type stuff. So that's what we're gonna do today. All right, we're gonna start with the stuff at home. And this particular child, I have 6 kids and he's my 5th, and he was my hardest baby. He is my hardest toddler. Like, he is a struggle. It's a struggle bus constantly. And so a lot of activities really don't keep him occupied for very long. Whereas his sister that's just younger than him, she could sit and do a lot of these things already right now. And she's not even 2 years old, and she'll just sit and play for really long periods of time, enjoys the same thing. He's just like go, 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 and he has been since he was like 4 months old, and even as an infant, he just wanted to be bounced. And so he's just always been, he's been a lot of work the whole time. And so he still is. So I'm gonna show you some of these activities, things that he might enjoy or something that we're just gonna start to implement. And again, depending on the child, these might occupy them for a long period of time, and other kids, they might just not. You might just have to have a bunch of little activities they can kind of just bounce around to. So the first thing that he hasn't been doing this yet, but I just wanted to start getting him familiar with letters. I'm not like expecting him to know a whole lot about them or anything yet, but just so he can see them. So I printed these off years ago and laminated them. I don't know if they're still available here, but this is where I got them, themeasuredmom.com. And so that's where this one is from. I'm not sure. This one's from qualitykidscrafts.com. So if I can find the web pages, I'll link them down below, or you can try to search for something similar. I'm sure there's lots of different options. This one, if you wanted to print it like black and white, you could, and not laminate it, you could use it for dot markers. One of the ways that I like to use it is you get these like little circle stickers off of Amazon They come in a bunch of different colors, and then they can just stick them on here, and since this is laminated, I can take them off. But again, it helps them get a little bit more familiar with letters. And this one, you can do a lot of things. You could use the stickers. You can use manipulatives. These are a whole bunch of like smiley erasers. Again, just off of Amazon or like the Target dollar spot. If you wanted to get erasers for the different seasons or holidays and stuff, and then they could fill in the letters with them. You could do Play-Doh and have them do like the shapes. If you wanted to not laminate something like this, again, you know, you could do like cotton balls or have them glue cotton balls or little like pom-poms or whatever. So there's lots of different options for things to do that, like, again, I've already had these prepped for so long, and it's really easy for me to pull them out. I have the stickers or the Play-Doh or the like little manipulatives and pull them out and just kind of set them as something for him to do. So that's one option, especially when you're just kind of introing them. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but wasn't working. Another thing that he'll be able to do that he enjoys more than other things, it generally keeps him occupied longer than other things, is just some sort of sensory bin. And so I have things to make my own, but sometimes when I'm just so busy, that's not, with all my kids, that's not what I want to do. So I like the Young, Wild and Friedman brand. I think Knowledge Crates also has sensory bins. We have a few of those that you can just buy. They also have a like subscription that comes maybe quarterly, but they have sensory bins. At least they started selling sensory bins not too long ago. So you can also look there. But Young, Wild and Friedman has sensory bins. They have more stuff with Play-Doh. I think they might even have a subscription as well. I can't remember for sure all the things, but a lot of these brands are becoming much bigger, and so they have more options than they used to. These are all mixed together, so it's supposed to be space with a whole bunch of like little space manipulatives, but since they play with them, they get all mixed up. So the Play-Doh, and the Play-Doh usually has like some sort of scent to it, and it smells really good. Or here's a bigger option. So this is one of the bigger kits. These are more of an investment. And so if it's something that your kids are really gonna like and play with, then I would suggest doing this. The nice thing too is you can keep the box because it is such a nice box, and you can store other things. Like I've stored crayons or like craft supplies in them because they have little segments in them. Or you can also just keep, let me pop them open. They're hard to open, which is good for little kids because then they can't just get into them. But this is a construction one. So once the Play-Doh gets kind of worn out, you could just use your own Play-Doh. You could put these in a separate like baggie and just keep a whole bunch of like labels for different types of sensory bins and pull them out with some Play-Doh if you want to use these for different storage bins after a while. There's lots of different options. I feel like you can get a lot of uses out of them. They like to play with the different toys. There's stamps, trucks, you know, there's the little cones. All of them have slightly different things that kind of come with them. And so they're just a lot of fun. And it's something that, especially when they're new, he'll play with them a lot longer because it's like a whole investigative process, right? It's new and fun to look through, but he enjoys pulling those out. I just don't always enjoy having to clean them up. So that's something else that's good. And then I just brought out like one other activity. I have several games that we've accumulated over the years, and I was thinking like, are any of these his favorite, you know, that I can share with you? I don't feel like there really are. Like, it just depends on the day, to be honest. Sometimes he'll pull out some puzzles and play with those. Sometimes he'll pull out like little things he can build, like Legos. And other times we have like those little magnet boards that have the magnet pen. So he will pull those out and play with them. You know, so there's lots of things that I've used through several kids and then gotten some new things with him that he'll play with. This is something that I don't feel like he enjoys it as much as I thought he would, but maybe eventually he will. These are bricks. This was a Christmas thing that he got. So they're bricks like this, and it lets you build different things. Some of them you do have to have like a straw or toothpick. So this is what the bricks look like. So they're like a good size. too. So my 2-year-old isn't like swallowing these or anything. She doesn't usually put stuff in her mouth anyway, but you can build stuff, and there's a whole bunch, like we have a ton of them, and I just put them in this bin. I took them out of the box and put them in here, but he can play with those. It's something, again, easy to pull out, or my 2-year-old will play with them too if I pull them out. So that's one of our newer things that he sometimes likes to play with and sometimes doesn't. Again, nothing keeps him very occupied for very long periods of time. And so I just kind of never know what he's gonna like or not, because he's just going from one thing to the next. So those are kind of the couple of activities that I wanted to share with you. And then as far as just like one curriculum that we might try to do, the Little Hearts and Hands Science from The Good and the Beautiful, they just came out with the Bones and Stones one. I have several of the other ones. I might have all the other ones, but I thought he might like this one because it has, you know, dinosaurs in it and stuff. So it's just kind of fun that way. This is the like reading book that has the stories. And then this is the parent guide book right here. So then there'll be different activities in here also. With being like a paleontologist, it has optional activities down here, like bury a special rock or toy dinosaur, right? And then they're gonna try to find it. So there's different activities that way. The hardest thing with these is that I'm also doing stuff with my big kids. So sometimes incorporating activities for him are a little bit tricky, but I thought he might like to try to do something with dinosaurs. So that's another curriculum that I wanna incorporate. But if you have kids that like different parts of science, there's one for like flowers, there's one that talks more about like the ocean and water, so you could probably find something that they would enjoy as well. All right, so now the stuff that we're gonna take with us to Africa, a few of these things I might pull out before, but the plan is to take them with us. So the first one is gonna look funny because you can't even tell what it is. It looks like I'm taking a bunch of flour, like decals, but that's not what they are. This one, so it has a picture of a bunch of different ones on the back. This one is actually letters and colors and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of colors, but then they also have ABCs. So I thought about, we'll see how this will work once we get there. Oh, so here's kind of the whole ABC thing. But either put them on paper or on the walls. Like obviously I don't want to ruin someone else's walls. They're meant to be like removable decals, but maybe we'll try some, just like one small one and make sure that it's gonna be okay. But something where he can see it, or we can practice, you know, if I just put them on a piece of paper, a whole bunch, and we could practice colors or different letters and things like that. So that was something that, you know, it's not big or anything that I thought we could take with us. And then something else that is a little bit more, I don't know, it's harder, I guess, a little more practice than maybe he'll be ready for, we'll see, is this alphabet activity pad. And so you can color the letters, it has them to be able to be traced. It's very hard with kids, and especially with little kids, to gauge where he's going to be because we don't leave yet for like 5 more months. And then during that 6-month period, a lot of things can change as well. So it's all, like it makes it all a little bit tricky. So I have that to take with us and to see. And these are all things off Amazon, so I can link them below. And then something that he's been loving lately is these like sticker faces. Sorry, the glare is really good. And I got some that were bluey, which I think I got more bluey ones again, maybe, yes. So these are the ones I had gotten before, and he just wanted to do them. He loved them so much. He does need a little help with the stickers since these are completely flat stickers. You know, the ones that are a little bit like puffed up are a little bit easier for him to get off. But these ones, he is getting better doing it, getting that fine motor skill, but it's a little bit trickier. And so he loved doing this. I've kept these stickers hidden because he would just ask for them all the time. This is something that he does like to do, but if he does it too much, he might get bored of it. And so we're keeping them hidden. So there's Bluey, there's a whole bunch of the different characters in here. I got some that have Mario faces. He's been loving Mario lately. And then these ones are just a bunch of animals. They have so many on Amazon. Like even within these ones, there was a whole bunch of different options. And then I guess these ones look, this is a fish, but I'm not sure what all of them were in here. So there's a bunch of different, I think I got a few that had some different animals and stuff like that, and then the Mario one, and then the bingo one. So I got those, and then still on the sticker, since we're going over stickers, I saw these as well. These ones are they poofy? Maybe. I kind of feel like it, but it's hard for me to tell, to be honest. I thought this would be good for colors and shapes. And so we could do this, or he can put them on a piece of paper or something while we're in Africa, and to start learning colors and shapes a little bit better. And so I got those as well. And then I saw this little activity. I don't even know what this is called. It says sensory activity board on it. Sorry, the paper is so crinkly, and it's hard to see. It comes with these like flexible little sticks that you can weave through the board. And then the back also has like a board that it can be woven through as well. And so just something to keep little hands busy, but also I was looking for things that didn't take up too much space, that he could do on the airplane as well, and things like that. So that's why I picked these. And then this one is a little bit more advanced, but also something, again, with not knowing exactly where he'll be at that point, I thought we could try. So this is magnet by number, because my kids love the sticker by number, but that's gonna be still too hard for him. And so I thought we could try this. So, again, practicing numbers, and we can help him figure it out, and he can stick them on with the magnets and stuff. So I thought we'd try that one out as well. And then these are like geo boards. They call them a creative nail board, but geo boards. This one actually comes with 2. I don't know if we'll take both of them. I got this one just in case because I thought my 2-year-old might like doing this as well. But let me see if I can get them out kind of stuck together. But it comes, I liked how they were bigger, and the nails are a little bit bigger. We have some really small plastic ones that we've had for a really long time, but they're a little bit harder for smaller fingers because the board isn't quite as big and the nails aren't as big. This one also comes with this pad, which I don't know if we'll take these with us or not. Maybe for my big kids. So this is something my older kids could also do, so that's fun. But it has markers so they can create their own pattern and then make it on the board. So that's fun for them. And then rubber bands. So there's 2 sets of rubber bands and 2 sets of cards, since there are 2 boards. And so it has some little pictures they can make, and then it has the rubber bands that go with it. And so I thought that would just be a fun activity, and even people that commented on this said that they had toddlers that loved doing it on an airplane, and I was like, perfect. So we're gonna try it out and see how it goes. So I got that, and then the last thing, I think the last thing is this letter tracing sensory pad. So I'll take it out of this, not right now, but when we go, I'm not gonna probably leave it in the box. And so it's just a little pad like this that has the letters that you can put under it and then trace over them. So you can use a pencil. They're using their finger here. So I liked how there was some different options. Again, just becoming familiar with letters, not really having the expectation of learning all of them and knowing them, but just becoming a little bit more familiar with what they look like. That's kind of my goal. All right, so those are some of the things that my preschooler is gonna be doing for this upcoming school year, and then also while we're in Africa to keep little hands busy and not driving us crazy, at least not completely crazy. So comment down below some of the things that you like to use for your preschooler, whether at home doing homeschool, on the go doing homeschool, or traveling, or whatever it is, because that's helpful for me and also helpful for everyone else that's watching this video. And remember to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.